Good evening. Welcome once again to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. I'm Ron Olesko and I'll be your host this evening. And a very special night it's going to be. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. First, let me wish all of you a very happy, healthy, and safe Labor Day weekend. I know we all hate to see summer come to a close, but don't worry. We've got some special events planned that I think you're going to enjoy this fall. Now, you probably know by now that the Greenwich Village Folk Festival is a monthly live, or usually live, virtual event. We've been live streaming since summer of 2020, and we're going to be here for many more months to come. This year, during the summer, last month and this month, we've done something a little special. We're doing highlights of our virtual festival since we returned in 2020. And I think you're going to enjoy some of the artists that we have tonight. A little bit of history. The Greenwich Village Folk Festival first began life back in 1987. It was a live event in front of a live audience in New York's Greenwich Village. It was celebrating the legacy and the music that was being created in Greenwich Village. It went on hiatus for a number of years, and in 2020, producers Rod MacDonald, Ray Mysick, and Jerry Kornbluth decided to bring it back as a virtual event. If you remember the pandemic, everything was shut down, venues were closed, artists weren't touring, audiences weren't being able to see in-person events. So they created this festival and brought together so many incredible artists with a very appreciative audience. And it's a gift to the community. It's a free event. And since then, we've brought so many amazing artists from not only here in Greenwich Village and the United States, but all across Canada and Europe, England, Ireland. And, well, it's just been an amazing selection, a diverse selection of artists. And that's going to continue. Tonight, as I said, we are doing a highlights program. We've taken some of the requests that we've had from our viewers and listeners, and we've also picked a few people that I think you're going to really enjoy seeing again, or maybe seeing for the first time. Now, as I said, this is a free event, and it is, but we do have a tip jar, and we do accept donations. In fact, it's donations from people like you that have kept this going. We plan to continue doing this. We have some great events coming up. In October is going to be a Phil Oakes Song Night. I'll tell you more details later on that. But we need your help in order to continue doing this. So if you can afford it, please make a donation. You'll see at the bottom of the screen there's a little banner crawling across there with some addresses that you can connect with. Simply go to greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org and you can see a button that you can click on to make your donation. You can even mail us a check. We have a mailing address that you'll see on the screen. Send us a check and help us keep this event alive. We can only do it with help from grateful people like you. And we are grateful for people like you. I love looking at the chat columns on YouTube and Facebook while this event is going on. It's a real community that's gathered here for these virtual events. That's what it's all about. Well, listen, enough of my rambling. I want to get to some music. And let me tell you who you're going to see tonight. You're going to see performances from Tracy Grammer and Jim Henry, Guy Davis, Grace Pettis, Patty Larkin, Howard Levy, Natalia Zuckerman, Bill Staines, and Martyn Joseph. All performing at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival since we returned in 2020. I'm just so proud to be part of this, and I'm so grateful to all of you who've kept this going. So enough of my rambling. Let's get to the music. I think Christine Lavin was about to introduce these next performers, as she did back in September of 2022. Here's Chris to introduce our first artist.
We have a very, very special duo tonight. Her name is Tracy Grammer, and his name is Jim Henry, and they are a duo whose names are synonymous with impeccable musicianship, seamless harmonies, a diverse repertoire, and the kind of musical chemistry and humorous banter that you'd expect from musicians like them. A typical show can include a stage full of instruments, electric guitar, violin, dobro, mandolin, and a set list full of original songs, instrumentals, creatively reimagined covers, and highlights from Dave Carter's award-winning catalog. And they've got a special event that they're doing in a couple of weeks that I think they'll probably talk about. Both of them reside in the Pioneer Valley of Western Massachusetts. Grammer resides in Greenfield with her cat Pickles, and Henry lives in Shutesbury, where he also operates Ruby Tone Studios. He's at jimhenry.net. She's at tracygrammer.com. And together, they are Tracy Grammer and Jim Henry.
song I wrote called The Verdant Mile, accompanied so well by Mr. Jim Henry on the mandolin.
Yes, yes, yes.
How you doing there, Mr. Jim Henry?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. Doing good? Feeling good?
Feeling good. Just that I like the commute to this gig. This is good. Just walk downstairs.
And let's just talk about what a fantastic show this has been.
I know, it's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, the variety, the skill, the soul. What a treat. Thank you so much for having us.
The beauty.
Yeah, so much
Good-looking
beauty.
people.
Oh, and there's that too.
Yeah.
And they look good.
And they look good. Look good and sound good.
All right.
Well, once you tell them about this.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them what's happening.
Yeah, so Christine mentioned that we have a special event coming up, and that is true. September 10, we are doing our second all Dave Carter show. It's a tribute to Dave Carter. This 2022 is the 20th anniversary of his passing, which seems remarkable to me.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, and these, I started my career doing all Dave Carter all the time, and of course that has morphed since I started writing songs and playing with Jim and doing a lot of cover material and all of that. So these kinds of shows are few and far between. In fact, I don't foresee us doing really any more of these. Like
Probably not.
I can't imagine a special occasion for this. But so September 10th, we're doing an online show. You can find out about it at tracygrammer.com. And it's a live stream. If you can't make the live stream, it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be available for 72 hours after the broadcast, unless you're a patron. And then if you're one of our patrons, you can check it out for a week afterwards. But yeah, so we thought we would entice you with a Dave Carter song. If you've never heard of Dave Carter, this one kind of shows off something he was really skilled with, which is counterpoint melodies. So yeah,
you're all
you
good
ready
there?
to go?
Yep. Let's give it a whirl.
Let's do it. This is called Tanglewood Tree.
Love is a tanglewood tree in a bower of green in a forest at dawn. There, while the mockingbird sings, but she soon lifts her wings and the music is gone. Young lovers in the tall grass with their hearts open wide when the red summer poppies bloom. Oh, but love is a trackless domain and the rumor of rain in the late afternoon. And love is an old river that creeps through the meadows of sleep when the long shadows cast. A vagrant young vine, it encircles and twines, and it holds the heart fast. Catches dreamers in the wildwood with the stars in their eyes and the moon in their tousled hair. Oh, but love is a light in the sky and an unspoken lie and a half-whispered prayer. I'm walking down a bone-dry river with a cool mirage runs true. I'm banking on the fables of a far, far better things we do. I'm living for the day of reckoning, counting down the hours. Well, I yearn away, I burn away, I turn away the fairest flower of love. 'Cause darling, love is a garden of thorns, and a growing hummingbird, and the brave growing wild.
And this is surrounding the cold, dark hour when the summer is spent. Well, I'm missing a
the faith of a child.
When nothing remains to cover her eyes,
My body has a number,
maybe my
face has a name, and each day
Each
looks
hour
the same
like each
to
hour
me. Oh, but love,
This longing is the
voice on the wind,
She cultivates
wages of sin, and a tanglewood tree.
Gotta concentrate on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
Indeed. Well, that's a great song. There's going to be more like that. And
Yeah, a whole night, 2-hour show. Dave Carter stuff. It's going to be really fun. We're digging around in the archives to see what we can find that people have never heard before.
including me. Yeah.
I'll make sure you're hip to
Up
what's
to
going
date.
on. Yeah.
Well, let's do. This is a song that I wrote about growing up in Kansas in the summertime, and grew up in a big family. And this is a song about what we used to do with all those damn kids.
Station wagons full of blankets, and Dad's whistling a tune. Well, he won't tell us where we're going. He smiles and says we'll be there soon. There's 8 of us if you count Jeffrey. Barely 2, so Mom holds him. We're going crazy in the way back, fueled by the Kansas summer wind. It's $2.50 for the carload. We park in the front row. Saturday night, we're feeling alright at the drive-in movie picture show. There's a double feature in a playground, and all the popcorn we place our bets who stays up latest, and our pajamas all have feet, and Dad hangs a speaker from the window. We can't get him to move his head, so we spread some blankets on the gravel. Makes an outdoor movie watching bed. Kissing on the big screen, we fall asleep watching stars up in the sky. The next thing that I remember, well, Mom's tucking me in tight. She whispers first, did you have a good time? I say let's go again tomorrow night. It's 250 for the carload, and we park in the front row. Saturday night, we're feeling alright at the drive-in movie picture show. It's Saturday and James Bond is playing at the drive-in movie picture show.
That was great. Jim, Tracy, could we ask for one more?
Sure.
Yeah, we can do another one.
Let's do that one.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jim Henry and I have a live stream series that we've been doing since, well, actually, we started it before the pandemic, but it really sustained us during the pandemic. And it was called 6 Feet Apart back when that was a thing. Now it's just called live stream number such and such. And our live stream number 30, which just happened August 30th, was each one has a theme. Our last one featured the songs of Townes Van Zandt and John Prine. But we've done all kinds of things. Canadian songwriters, songs that start with B, colors, the weather,
animals,
water.
Yeah.
We've just... I think our next one, they're always on the last Tuesday. Our next one is going to be women songwriters. So, but we haven't picked who we're going to focus on yet.
We better start thinking about that.
Yeah.
There's some to choose from here tonight, actually.
That's right. I know. I was getting some ideas.
Yep.
So anyway, having just done a Townes Van Zandt workshop or live stream, I thought maybe we'd end with this kind of classic Townes song. About a couple of outlaws, not so unlike you and me.
That's right. A couple of badasses. That's us.
Sing along if you know it. This is Pancho and Lefty. Living on the road, my friend, gonna keep you free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, your breath as hard as kerosene. Weren't your mama's only boy, but her favorite one is me. She began to cry when you said goodbye. Sank into your dreams. Pancho was a bandit boy. His horse was fast as polished steel. Wore his gun outside his pants for all the honest world to feel. Pancho made his mansion of on quiet in Cleveland's cold. So the story ends, we're told. Well, Pasha needs your praise, it's true, but save a few for Lefty still. He only did what he had to do. Now he's growing old. All the federalists say we could have had him any day. We only let him slip away. A few great federalists say we could have had him any day. We only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose.
Bravo. Wow. Tracy Grammer, Jim Henry. Thank you so much for that set.
Well, like Peter Kalo, Guy Davis is one of the rare singer-songwriters from the acoustic folk world who've also made a home on Broadway. And I was there in the house. It was Finian's Rainbow. I actually went twice. And there was a scene. I didn't know Guy was in the audience, was in the cast. And there's this great scene between Guy and Alina Faye that stopped the show at the St. James Theater, which is one of the biggest Broadway theaters, has over 1,700 seats. And that's why I went back to see it again, because I loved the show for one thing, but I wanted to see if they could stop the show again, and they did. So it's such a thrill that he's here. Please welcome Guy Davis.
Thank you so much for joining Todd McDonald. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. None was as much fun as being at the live actual festival 20-something years ago. But hey, I look forward to that coming up. I'm going to start with a song that I wrote. It's called God's Gonna Make Things Over. This song is about the Tulsa, Oklahoma race massacre of 1921. Buried down in nameless graves. God's gonna make things over one of these days. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. That's when the killing had just begun. You know, God's gonna make things over one of these days. It ain't right, Lord, it ain't right what the white folks did in Tulsa on that night. W.K. Brady was an evil man. He was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. You know, God's gonna make things over one of these days. Black folks begging down on their knees, white folks hanging them up in trees. God's gonna make things over one of these days. It ain't right, Lord, it ain't right what the white folks did in Tulsa on that night. There was money in Greenwood town. White folks burned it to the ground. You know God's gonna make things over one of these days. Black doctor raised his hands up high, and they shot him just to watch him die. You know God's gonna make things over one of these days. It ain't right, Lord, it ain't right what the white folks did in Tulsa on that night. Tell me, what did you learn when you watched my body burn? You know God's gonna make things over one of these days. When you hang me from a tree, raise me high so my people see. You know God's gonna make things over one of these days. It ain't right, Lord, it ain't right what the white folks did in Tulsa on that night. It ain't right, Lord, it ain't right what the white folks did in Tulsa on that night. Thank you. All I can say is I wrote it. I wrote it, and in the news, seems like every day we're seeing something that reflects an offshoot of that time to this time. I'm going to do another song. I'm going to take these finger picks off first and do another song. The song you just heard and this next one are both on an upcoming CD called Be Ready When I Call You, coming out June 4th. I hope that you can hear me okay. It's called Got Your Letter in My Pocket. Got your letter pocket, and your face stays on my mind. Well, I heard that you had a baby, and I didn't know the child was mine. No, I didn't know the child was mine. There've been days when I've gone hungry. There've been nights I've slept out in the pouring rain. There've been times when I spent hiding. I was scared somebody would call my name. I was scared somebody would call my name. Well, your husband came to see me. I lied right in your husband's face. I told him that I did not love you, and I didn't want to take his place. I didn't want to take his place. Ever go to High Top, remember me to Annie Gray. She's got a houseboat down on the river. Sometimes she lets me stay. Sometimes she lets me stay. Tell no one that you saw me. Don't tell nobody that I came around. I'll be leaving soon in the morning, and I won't say where I'm bound. No, I won't say where I'm bound. Got your letter in my pocket, and your face stays on my mind. Well, I heard that you had a baby, and I didn't know the child was mine. No, I didn't know the child was mine. Thank you all so very much for letting me share a little time and space with you this evening, you the observers, and also you, my comrades in music. This pandemic has been a very trying time for all of us. And we've been trying to make our way, doing the best we can. A lot of us, like Raleigh and Mary, we make fairly regular appearances on Facebook. I've got a live cast. I call it Coffee with Kokomo on the Kokomo Kid Facebook page, and that's Kid with 2 D's, by the way. And we get to share music, and we share coffee. I even got my own coffee mug. And if you want to know anything about getting coffee mugs, a Kokomo coffee mug, just go to GuyDavis.com and talk to my manager, Tom. And $30 get one of these sent right to your door. And you'll be sitting sipping coffee out of an official Kokomo mug. That's not what's important, though. It's what we put in that mug, and that's lots of love. think I'm going to wind things up with this harmonica. Christine, thanks for saying so much about Finian's Rainbow. That was a turning point in my life, to have that role that Sonny Terry had so many years ago, 1947. Finian's Rainbow, the original. Okay. Well, here goes. Just checking it for cornflakes. I'm going to do a song I wrote called New Shoes. Now, this is not a new song, but every time I do it, it feels new to me. I was wearing my old shoe, but I got on my new shoes now. I was wearing my old shoe, but I got on my new shoes now. And I feel like dancing, I feel like dancing. I was wearing my old clothes, but I got on my new clothes now. I was wearing my old clothes, but yes, I got on those new clothes now. And I feel like dancing, I feel like dancing. I was thinking my old thoughts, but I'm thinking my new thoughts now. I was thinking my old thoughts, but I'm thinking my new thoughts now. And I feel like dancing, I feel like dancing. When I got on my new shoes, and I'm wearing my new clothes, and I'm thinking my new thoughts, and I feel like dancing, I feel like dancing. Thank you. I've been waiting all year to do that.
Oh, that was delightful. Guy Davis, thank you so much. Oh, I can't wait till June 4th for that new album to come out. Be Ready When I Call You. And just those two songs that we heard tonight, it's going to be powerful. I can't wait to hear the rest.
Thank you very much, Ron. I really appreciate you stepping out and sending all of us artists out there to the folks.
Well, thank you. And thank you for waking us up every morning. What is it, 6 days a week you do that? And that mug, I got to call Tom and get me one because that looks like a big mug there that you could get me going all day.
That's the caffeine.
Coffee with Kokomo every morning, Sunday through Friday, 10 a.m. And Guy Davis, thanks so much for being here tonight. It's always a treat to see you, and we'll be talking more. Guy Davis, wow, what a night this has been, and this festival every month is just a gem. Wow. You know, normally I am backstage watching this, getting ready to introduce the next performer when we do these live. Tonight, like all of you watching, I get to sit back and enjoy it again. And it's bringing back such memories of how all these shows are put together. The hard work that goes into it. It looks like it's, just everybody shows up and starts singing. Well, we have some amazing audio engineers, including Brandon O'Sullivan and Greg Greenway, who have done an amazing job of getting all the artists together to perform for you all live. And of course, Rod MacDonald and Ray Mysick, who produce all of these events, pulling together the lineup each month and doing all the business work to keep this going. Jerry Kornbluth, who does some editing and also helps keep this event going. It's an amazing organization to be part of. I've got the easy part. I just get to sit here and talk to all of you. But I look at all these artists that we're presenting and I realize what a treasure this event is every month. And it is a free event, but we really could use your help to keep this going. Again, at the bottom of the screen, there's a crawl going over. You can go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org, to make a donation. There's a little PayPal button there. And you can also do it the old-fashioned way, write out a check. Again, let's put it up on the screen. We'll show you where you can mail your check and send it to us. However you can afford to do so, we really do appreciate your help. It goes to helping the performers, helping to keep this organization going, the website, the funds it costs to do all the feeds every month. It's a real expensive proposition, and your help is what's kept this going since the summer of 2020. And with your help, we can keep it going for a whole lot longer. So I thank you. For everybody who's donated so far, you people are terrific, and we really appreciate your help. And we promise we're going to keep going and give you more. In fact, next month, we've got a Phil Oakes Song Night that we'll be doing live. I'll tell you about that next break. But right now, I want to go back in time to an event, well, a very special artist who came to join us. In fact, I get to introduce her on this video. So I'll stop talking, take a listen. For those of you just tuning in, and thinking this is just something that started during COVID, the Greenwich Village Folk Festival has a much longer history. It started back in 1987. Well, we are having the 501c3, and from 87 to 94, they held annual concerts in the village, some memorable concerts as well. Founding producers were Rod MacDonald and Ray Mysick and Jay Rosen and Gary Hinson. And during the pandemic, they revived it as this monthly concert series. And there's some incredible performers that have already played and more to come. And our next performer, now she's an artist before the pandemic hit. You would probably find her performing in clubs in Austin, Texas with her band. Or maybe you'd see her on tour with the trio Nobody's Girl, which features Grace along with Rebecca Loby and Betty Sue, outstanding group. And Grace is an outstanding songwriter. She's won a number of national songwriting competitions, including NPR's Mountain Stage New Song Contests, the Kerrville Folk Festival New Folk Songwriting Contest. Her songs have been recorded by a number of artists, including Sarah Hickman and Ruthie Foster. And her latest single is a real winner. It's called Drop Another Day. It's from Empress Records. And You can also catch her podcast, Troubadours on Trek, where she interviews friends of the music community and also reviews episodes of Star Trek. She is a very talented performer who I've not had the opportunity to meet before, but I'm so thankful she's here tonight. Please welcome Grace Pettis.
Oh, man. That was such a good introduction. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
I wrote this song a couple days ago in a park here in Austin, Texas. It's a voting anthem, and it's also a tribute to Woody Guthrie, so I'll send it out to all you folkies watching. Take off the headphones. We can build an anti-racist world with this machine. Make a better future for women and girls with this machine. Love who we want, open the doors, no more walls here anymore. Kill the fascism, win the war with this machine. This machine, these hands, these feet, this machine, these people, these streets. Hate and fear cannot defeat this machine. This land is yours, this land is mine, this machine. For you and me and by design, this machine. So cast it on a ballot, write it on a sign, shout it from a 10-hour voting line. This land is yours, this land is mine, this machine. This machine, this voice, these strings, this machine, this song we sing. We the free, let freedom ring from this machine. This machine, these hands, these feet, this machine, these people, these streets. Hate and fear will not defeat this machine. This machine, these hands, these feet, this machine, these people, these streets. 2020's about to meet this machine. Yeah, man. Well, so this next song I just released recently on my brand new label, which I signed to Empress in January, right before the world exploded. So not exactly the year I thought it was going to be, but it's been an interesting one, and I've been writing a lot. And this is a song that I recently wrote and released, and if you like it, you can find it on Noise Trade, where I've set it up, and my label Empress has set it up to be directly a donation to Color of Change, which is where we want to point the arrow for this song. So you can find it there. Just search for my name on Noise Trade. It should show up, and you can donate to Color of Change that way. So this song is called White Noise. Sheep safe in the herd. One black sheep lost, we don't say a word. But God's looking down on his child on the pavement. Leaves the 99 behind for the one that needs saving. You love your neighbor, can't say that you love me, can't say all lives matter, he can't breathe, say his name, if you use your voice, and don't just add to the white noise. white noise. Thanks, y'all. So I won't spend much time on the soapbox, but I'll just say Black Lives Matter. And saying that racism exists and saying that Black Lives Matter is literally the minimum that we as white people can do. And look, I voted for Biden, and I'm a registered Democrat, but this is not actually about right and left. This is about right and wrong. And so I just want to see every one of us in January, in February, in March, whoever the president is, whatever administration is in power, it's our obligation to hold them accountable, hold their feet to the fire, take them to task, and make the change that we want to see in this country. So I expect every one of us to show up, not just to say Black Lives Matter, but to show up in 2021. So that's what I want to say, and then I'll move on. And I'll say one more thing. We had a really talented artist on tonight, Chris Matthews, and she's writing songs that a lot of us are too scared to write, and she's saying the things that we really need to hear as a nation, and that call them out but call them in. I mean, some powerful, powerful stuff. So if we want to actually listen to some black women, we can do that because she's making an album. She has a Kickstarter campaign going on right now. I just donated. My mom just donated. You can donate. You can throw in $5, maybe $500, but help her make that record because she's got stuff to say, and I think we should listen. So, all right. And now I will end with this next song, which I recorded with my band Nobody's Girl with Betty Sue and Rebecca Loby, and it's a song written by our dear friend Raina Rose. And it's just a little love song, and so I will send this love letter to you from here in Texas. Just keep the faith, and thank you so much to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival for having me. It's been such a great night, such fun. So, all right, here we go. To be kind, I promise to start now. I will barter your sorrow for the sun somehow. Anyhow, how will we ever get there in the dark? Even concerning this, that I won't read the last page first and miss the story of it. Morning glory by the fence post, how will we find it in the dark? You I'm sorry I did it from the start. I took it apart and put it back together. And maybe now your heart will work better. I swear to be solemn with every secret confessed, down every dark highway that the wind has the honor to undress, make a mess, trying to find our way home in the dark. We're trying to find our way home in the dark.
That's Grace Pettis. Oh, Grace, that was just beautiful. Good luck to you with everything you're working on. Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
a lovely performer, and I'm so jealous of your dimples, but we won't go into that. When I was a kid, I wrote to a comic book where they had this thing you could wear it at night and it would give you a dimple. And it didn't work, but it worked on you.
But you have pigtails, so you're already. I think dimples would make you like too cute, you know. Like we have to keep things fair. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Well, she was born in Iowa, and she grew up in an artistic family, a long line of Irish-American singers and storytellers. Her sisters are musicians. Her mother was a painter. And Patty began studying piano when she was just 7 years old. And she taught herself guitar and began writing songs in high school. Obviously, she didn't have Sonia's music teacher there. But after graduating college, she moved to Boston, where she studied jazz guitar at the Berklee College of Music, and she also began busking on the streets of Cambridge and became very well known. Her first album was recorded in 1985, and since then she's recorded 11 wonderful studio albums and 2 live recordings that share both her powerful guitar wizardry as well as her compelling gift as a songwriter. And a number of artists have recorded her songs, including people like Cher. And along with Christine Lavin, Patty is a founding member of the Four Bitchin' Babes, and she's also produced a wonderful compilation album called La Guitarra, Gender Bending Strings, which was a compilation that features some extraordinary international women guitarists that smashed that misconception that there are no great women guitarists. Well, she proved them wrong. And her latest album, Bird in the Cage, a remarkable work. She's put poems from 10 notable poets to song, including people like William Carlos Williams, Robert Pinsky, Billy Collins, and others. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, Patty Larkin.
Yay! Thank you, Ron. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah. Can't blame it on the moon no morning. Can't blame it on the radar weather. Can't blame it on my lucky stars, my mother or my father. I'm holed up in the bell tower, looking for 4 walls to bounce off, looking for a donkey I can maybe pin a tail on, yeah. Yes. Well, I've taken a staying up late, taking up bowling, take a couple aspirin and I call my lover in the morning of. I've taken to talking to myself and I don't even get it. I gotta get out of my head, it'll drive me crazy if I let it. Who holds your you're alone, who holds your hand when you're alone? So I put a cup of tea on and I looked at Rand McNally. That's a map, by the way. Put a couple shoes on and I hurried down the alley. Now I'm driving down the highway, trying to get the lead out. Rolling down the window, I'm sticking my neck out. Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand when you're alone? Yeah. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Well, now some people believe in Jesus. Guess that works real good. Some people believe in God like they believe in knocking on wood. Religion is a picture window, 'cause life is not a pretty picture. It rattles when the wind blows. Never knew what hit her. Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand? You're alone. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Who holds your hand when you're alone? Who holds your hand when you're alone? Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, my Bird in a Cage came out March 3rd, and the tour stopped March 9th. So I feel your pain there on that one. But it was a real pleasure to put together, and just as a songwriter, too, just to follow the thread of someone else's words was, oh, this is a mess. Who did this? Oh, me. Basically, you know, it's really freeing for me and a lot of fun. I want to do a song. The last song that actually poem that I wrote the music for is the William Carlos Williams poem, and it was in the midst of it was 2017. Wrong century, but that's not a problem. So I wrote this and dedicated it to the Dreamers. It's called, it's William Carlos Williams' The Fool's Song. that I am. Why, it broke my pretty cage. Sing merrily truth, fool I am. I tried to put a bird in a cage. A fool that I am. For the bird was truth. Sing merrily truth, truth in a cage. Fool I am. And when the bird had flown from the cage, ah, fool that I am. I had no bird nor cage. Sing merrily truth, fool I am. Day by day, sing, dreamer, sing. One of these days, you will fly with only the truth to carry your wings. For only the truth survives. Dia a dia, cantan los soldadores, cantan. Un de estos días vas a volar con solo la verdad para llevar tus alas. Solo la verdad sobrevive. Thank you. Yeah, so I'd like to sing a song I just wrote. It's called Space Hotel. It's quite, it goes, Space Hotel, I'm living in a space hotel. I'm feeling out of place because I can't see your face in a space hotel. Thank you. All right, well, we'll move on now. Chris, I had to do it, Chris. Anyway, what a pleasure to see everybody tonight. I did a few of these live stream things and was completely terrified, so stopped, and then I realized that it really it helped me focus, and not only that, tonight it's just really giving me a sense of community. So thank you for inviting me here. Thanks to everybody for all the great music. It's just inspiring. Hoping to be free range again soon. I like Dan's reference to the television. I've been streaming too much Netflix, so I'm going back to something called a book. This is a little bit of a sing-along if you feel like it. the book I'm not reading. The book I'm not reading is riveting. The book I'm not reading keeps me up at night. The book I'm not reading is better than TV, giving me insights. The book I'm not reading is history. The book I'm not reading by some paperback writer. The book I'm not reading is a mystery, and whodunit don't matter. Oh, I need someone to read me stories. Oh, someone to turn the page. Oh, the empty quest for love and glory. Oh, does not fade away with age. The book I'm not reading is an ancient tome. The book I'm not reading was born yesterday. The book I'm not reading keeps me off the phone with nothing to say. The book I'm not reading is a self-help kind. The book I'm not reading has a life jacket enclosed. The book I'm not reading is a friend of mine. God knows me, he does. Oh, I need someone to read me stories. Ah, someone to turn the page. Oh, the endless quest for love and glory. Does not fade away with age. The book I'm not reading is on the internet. The book I'm not reading is a brand new movie. The book I'm not reading isn't out yet. It's only to me. The book I'm not reading isn't written down. The book I'm not reading is an English translation. The book I'm not reading should be read aloud. I'm getting patient. I need someone to read me stories. Oh, someone to turn the page. Oh, the endless quest for love and glory. Oh,
Hey, Patty, can we get you to do one more for us?
Sure, I could do like the 40-minute ballad. That would be. I'd love to. Yeah, sure, I'd love to. Well, good to see you.
Hi there.
Hi there. Let me just. Yeah, I'd love to do one more. Thanks. Tom Paxton once said that they used to play somewhere in the village. I don't know. Sonny probably knows where, and they did 3 songs and waited 3 hours and played 3 more. And the good news was that he said it doesn't sound like much, but you learned how to start a set, end a set, and what to say in the middle. So thanks for the 4th song. Send this one out to. I feel very lucky to be here with my family and 2 teenagers. Very good, very exciting life. But I don't mean to be sarcastic. I want to just dedicate this to the people who have made a huge difference in the health of our nation and are still doing it. So thank you. They're angels. God bless everybody. Well, I've heard enough, and I've seen enough, and I know enough to know. I know a good thing when I see it, and it's a bad thing to let go. Well, I've been around. I've been up and down till I've been out of control with your world all in motion. Gotta put a ball and a chain on your soul. All those angels running, picking up the pieces and putting back together hearts broke long ago. I know a good thing when I see it. It's a bad thing to let go. There will always be lovers with borders of their own, and you can charge across in a golden chariot, but you will never be home. And I had dreams like distant thunder. I had hope like a prayer unheard. This is nothing less than perfect in a less than perfect world. All those angels running, picking up the pieces and putting back together hearts broke long ago. I know a good thing when I see it, and It's a bad thing to let go. Yeah, yeah. So, great night, everybody.
Beautiful song, Patty. Really.
Rod. Thanks.
Great set. Loved your second song, too. Well, I loved all of it, but I especially liked what you did with was that William Carlos Williams?
Yes, yeah.
The arrangement you did of that. Really
He was
great.
a doctor and a poet. Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of a busy guy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Wow, what a night this has been. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has already made a donation to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. This is such a wonderful event each month, and all of you are doing your part to help not only support the festival, but support these artists who have had a very difficult year, obviously, not being able to tour. So your donations really do go a long way. If you haven't done so, you can go to GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org. You'll see a little link there for making donations. Or if you're watching right now on Facebook or YouTube, you'll see the link in the chat section. So if you can throw a few bucks the way of this wonderful event and help these performers, you've done a good job. Well, our next performer. Now, anyone who is a folk music or blues aficionado really appreciates the role that the harmonica plays in the traditions. Well, our next artist is an acclaimed master of the diatonic harmonica, and he utilizes the instrument in many other genres as well, including jazz and classical, Middle Eastern country, and more. And not just piano. He is also an incredible pianist, a composer, a band leader, a teacher. And he's a two-time Grammy Award winner. He works with Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. He's a founding member of the group as well. And he's a much sought-after studio musician. He's worked with a diverse range of artists, everyone from Dolly Parton to Paul Simon to Kenny Loggins, Styx, and so much more. And as a solo artist, he's recorded some wonderful albums, also with his trio and his new band, the Howard Levy 4. He's also put out a classical CD, the Concerto for Diatonic Harmonica and Orchestra. It's the first true concerto composed for diatonic harmonica. Well, I don't know if we're going to hear the concerto tonight because he has a short set, but we are so welcome. We're honored to have this gentleman with us. Please welcome Howard Levy.
On? Yeah.
I'm one.
Sure. It's a joy to be here and to listen to all these incredibly excellent artists. And, you know, it's funny about singing. I guess I've been singing for much of my life, but usually not in public, not since I was in a rock band in high school. And I started singing a little bit more a few years ago when I wrote a book called Songs, Poems, and Stories. And it had the lyrics of 12 of my songs in it, and these stories and poems. And I put out an audio book, and I realized I'm going to have to sing these things. Holy God. Well, I did. And I'm going to sing the first one for you right now. You know, I grew up in New York City. A lot of my relatives lived in the Village. So I hung out there a lot in my teen years. And then started going to all the clubs on McDougal Street and Bleecker Street and the Fillmore East and all those places, listening to every kind of music I could soak in New York. I've been in Chicago for many years now. And this song that I'm going to sing and play for you is about another city, New Orleans. They call it the cradle of jazz, and there's a reason why. This song is about a legendary jazz musician. What makes him a legend is he never recorded. He was the king of the trumpet in New Orleans in the 1890s and the 1900s. Everybody knew his name. He played all the biggest gigs and led the biggest marching parade bands. But Buddy, he had a bad drinking problem, and it did him in. He spent the last 25 years of his life in a mental institution, playing trumpet to the air. Nobody ever came and visited him, and he died totally alone and forgotten. This is a little song I wrote thinking about him. It's on the second Trio Globo album called Carnival of Souls as an instrumental, because I had not finished writing the lyrics back in 1995. But when they put out a movie about Buddy Bolden, I said, you know, this is the time for me to finish those words. And when I put out my audiobook, it's the time for me to sing those words. Hey, Buddy Bolden, I heard you play in those dreams of yesterday, taking your trumpet to the street, leading the band with your swinging beat, but now you wander like a ghost, far from those places that you love the most. You're the king of the trumpet without your crown, gone and forgotten in your own hometown, and that's why I'm playing the blues for you. Nobody here will ever know the sounds that came from your home, the way you make the dance hall swing and made the ladies shake their thing. Oh, Mr. Bolden, we'll never know just how, so let the tuba player play it now. Player, play a filigree like those wrought iron railings down on Bourbon Street. No jazz band played your funeral. They laid you in a pauper's grave. Nobody knows where your body lays, and it's a mystery till this very day. Hey, Buddy golden. I thought I heard you play. In those dreams of yesterday, you were the king of the trumpet, but you lost your crown. Gone and forgotten in your own hometown. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, New Orleans is a place that sort of refreshes my soul every time I go down there. There's just such an incredible music scene now. I don't know, I guess before the pandemic hit, I was there, and just on Frenchman Street alone, there's enough music to last you for a year. It's just crazy. It's like an overdose of great people playing and singing in just about every single storefront and restaurant. It's astounding. It's almost like New York. So my other instrument. The humble harmonica, invented in Germany sometime in the 1820s. It migrated to America, where black bluesmen found it and discovered that instead of what the Germans made it for, it was the world's greatest blues instrument. I first started playing the harmonica when I moved to Chicago. I tried it when I was in New York, but I guess the vibes just weren't right. And as soon as I got here, I was starting to play blues licks, and it just transformed my life. It was like the first day of the rest of my life when I bent my first note on the harmonica. I bought my first one at Manny's Music on 48th Street for $2.25. That back in 1898 when I was minus 53. So, but I'm going to bring it back to Germany right now and play a little bit of something by the great German blues musician Johann Sebastian Bach. A little medley of three of his big hits. They didn't come out on Chess Records, but you know, they're still big hits.
Extraterrestrial.
Oh, it's so nice to see people applauding again. It's been a lonely year. It's last March I got the virus. I was really, really sick, and my wife really saved my life. And then she got it, but not as bad as I had it. So I had to kind of tend to her for a little while. But it took me a while to recover, but I've tried to remain really productive. I put out several albums, a solo piano album that was kind of reflective of the times we were living in. It's called Looking Inward. I never put anything out like that before, and luckily I have this beautiful Steinway here, and I was able to record it. And I put out that vocal album like I told you about, and played on a whole bunch of recording sessions for a lot of people who wanted me to play harmonica and piano and all sorts of other stuff. So I've tried to remain productive and try to be positive and work on things. But all musicians, I mean, performing is our lifeblood, and interacting with audiences, it just gives you something. It's not the same as playing in your dining room for an imaginary audience, but you guys are actually here. I can see you, and I'm very grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for digging what I do. I'm going to play one last one for you. I realize it's an all B program. Buddy Bolton, Bach, Bourré, and Badinerie, and the last one is called Bluegrass on Broadway. It's got 2 B's in the title. And I named it because I played a gig in New York at Symphony Space with this very far-out modern string quartet called Ethel. Some of you might know them. And we collaborated, and also there was a wonderful banjo player, a member of the Osborne family from Hyden, Kentucky, named Dean Osborne. And we played together as well, and I'm a little partial to banjo players, and he brought me down to Hyden to play at his Bluegrass Academy, this wonderful place, and he was introducing me to people, and he was trying to describe how we met, and he said, "We played bluegrass on Broadway." And I said, "Yeah, we did, didn't we?" And so when I wrote this tune, that's what I called it. And I'm going to take these silly headphones off and try to play it for you on the piano, which is the world's heaviest bluegrass instrument.
Bravo!
Oh, thank you.
Howard, hello. I am so glad to meet you. I will be honest, I have never heard you before. I've never heard of you, but now you've kind of zoomed up to the very top of my, I have to hear more of this guy list. I can't believe what you've done. But with two great instruments, I mean, you're just amazing. Which is your favorite?
Whatever I'm playing at the time. I've been asked that before.
So you had your answer ready.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm so amazed by your ability. You are just, my hat's off to you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It was a joy. I'm so happy that Rod asked me to do this and to interact with all you wonderful people and to feel the vibe coming back at me. I mean, it's really beautiful, and I've really missed it. So.
Before the pandemic, where were most of your gigs? Were you in the South or all over the world, or?
All over the world, really. I tour, well, I used to tour more in Europe, but sometimes solo, sometimes doing like clinics at conservatories, and playing in a really crazy trio with a bass clarinet player and an accordion player. That only in Europe do you get to do these things. They're so much fun, you know. And then, you know, touring with Bela and the Flecktones, and we were doing more like maybe two-week tours a year. You know, we did a really big one about 10 years ago, and then we kind of let it rest for a few years, and then did these kind of get-togethers, sometimes double bills, sometimes just us. And then I have my own band in Chicago, and also a duo with this wonderful guitar player named Chris Siebold, who was the house guitarist for Prairie Home Companion for a few years. And we have an album out, too, called Art Plus Adrenaline.
Are you based out of Chicago now?
Yeah, I live in Chicago, in one of the suburbs, and lived here for a long time. And when I first moved here, I actually got into the folk scene pretty heavily and played with Steve Goodman and John Prine and Bonnie Coloc and Bob Gibson, and recorded on a lot of albums on Flying Fish, which, you know, Bruce Kaplan that was here. And then I expanded out into all these different styles of music, and I consider myself kind of a musical chameleon, but I have my own voice too. So I've really managed to have a fantastic time playing music for my whole life, really. I feel very blessed.
Well, thank you so much for gracing our stage tonight, Howard. I am so glad to meet you. Thank you very much.
Likewise.
Our next guest, who I am so happy to introduce. Now, she grew up in New York City. She studied art at Oberlin, started a business in San Francisco, began her songwriting career, I believe, in Boston. And now she resides, writes, plays, teaches, and paints in the Hudson Valley. She's released 8 independent albums. She's toured internationally as a solo artist since 2005. She's also produced a one-woman multimedia show called The Women Who Rode Away. Natalia is a teacher, a program director for Kid Pan Alley, an organization that creates collaborative songwriting workshops in schools, camps, online, and at community centers nationwide. In fact, on December 28th, she'll be doing an online benefit concert for the organization, along with Melissa Farrick. Well, in addition to her career as a singer-songwriter, she's also a certified yoga teacher. She's been a cultural ambassador for the State Department with her trio, the Northern Lights. She's also a muralist, illustrator, portrait artist, and she owns her own mural company, which has created community-based projects throughout the U.S., including San Francisco, New York, Arizona, and also a large outdoor mural in Havana, Cuba. I probably missed a few projects, but we only have a couple hours for this festival, so let me get down to business and welcome Natalia Zuckerman.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Ron. That was really nice. This is so lovely. I went down such a rabbit hole this morning of looking at old tour photos and just have feeling like I've been missing my peeps. So it's so good to just hear beautiful music and be amongst all you weirdos. I love you. I'll start out with this one. This is called Legend. stuff of folklore, saga and conquistador. When you're up against a legend, there's no way you're gonna win. It's a lonely night in London, it's the saddest violin. We could read the last chapter, but we know how it ends. 'Cause when you're up against a legend, no one wins. You are the ghost up in the attic, you are the rattling down the hall, the reflection in the window. Oh, it was me all along. 'Cause I'm up against a legend, there's no way I'm gonna win. It's just me and Judy Garland and this bottle of gin. I could read the last chapter, but I know how it ends. 'Cause when you're up against a legend, up against a legend, up against a legend, no one wins. Oh, the clapping hands. I'm in a weekly songwriting group that I've been in for many years. It's Matt the Electrician's group. It's really fantastic, and every Friday we hand in a song by midnight, and that one was, the prompt was Legend, and I don't think it's a very good song, but it's got that one line about Judy Garland, and that's a killer. You know what I mean? It's like you just like shitty songs all over the place, but like keep that one line. I'm a line hoarder, so maybe I'll put it back in somewhere else. This was another one, and this I didn't know if I was going to play this. It's brand spanking, so it's a little creaky. But Shanna, I am also a caregiver currently for my mom who has Alzheimer's, and I've written a whole bunch of songs about that experience, and it is beautiful and sacred and crushing, and yeah. So we'll try this one. This is how it goes. We already know how it ends, so let's not rush this part. If you're doing something right, it's bound to leave a mark. So break wide open, take a look inside. Maybe being scared is just finding new ways to be surprised. Find me, now that I'm not lost, I'm on my own path, learning how to walk. Find me, I've been here all the time, I'm flashing open, I'm a neon sign. Open, 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 open. If someone at the hospital calls, then I'll know I missed my chance to walk you home, and I will break wide open. Let nothing is the same. Oh, I will break wide open and I'll find you there. You've been gone for so long, but now you're everywhere, saying find me. Now that I'm not lost, I'm on my own path, learning how to walk it. Find me. I've been here all the time. I'm flashing open, open, open. I'm flashing open, open, open. I'm flashing open. I'm a neon sign. Ooh. Open, open, open. Open, open. I'm a neon sign. Ooh. Open, open, open. Thanks, everybody. This is a force to put on once a month. My goodness. Thank you for all the service, and thank you for all the beautiful music. Oh, little bird on a wire, don't your feet get sore like that? Don't you get tired of singing out here all day long? Well, I've been out here since the morning. I don't know what to do. All this longing, I'm gonna let the sun kiss me all day long. Daybreak, yeah, until the night falls. I've been out here waiting for you. That's what I do. Children down the street are selling lemonade. Maybe we haven't made all the mistakes we thought we made, 'cause children still play all day long. People pass me by on the street, some are really moving, some barely shuffling their feet, but there's people going someplace all day long. And I know I should go inside, but you said let's give this one more try. So I've been out here waiting to fly like a little bird on a wire. Don't your feet get sore like that? Don't you get tired of singing out here all day long? So go on, move along. Little bird, my little bird, yes, my little bird. Ooh, ooh, ooh. my little babe.
Absolutely beautiful, Natalia. That was just wonderful. And I hope that people will pick up some of your recordings and listen to your music outside of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival here tonight.
I hope you're enjoying this look back at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival as much as I am. Revisiting some of these performances reminds me of just how special this monthly offering is. You know, we get together on the first Sunday of every month, normally live, and I don't know what it is about it, but artists seem to really give it their all. You know, part of it is the way it's set up. You know, all of these artists we're all together backstage on Zoom, and people are listening and they're watching, and I can see everybody applauding. You don't get to see this at home, but there's something special about a group of artists getting together and cheering each other on that brings out these wonderful performances. And it's because of people just like you that we're doing this, and it's continuing. Your support makes this possible. Now again, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little crawl going over with our website information. You can go there, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org, and you can make a donation. You'll see a little sign on the side where it says donate info. There's also a PayPal button, and you can also write us a check. Let's put that up on the screen again. You can see the address where to send it, and help support this so we can keep this going. You know, it's a free event, but there are costs involved. Maintaining the website, paying the performers, and keeping the archives. I think what's important is that these videos are going to be around for future generations, hopefully, so they get an idea of what kind of incredible music was being created, all inspired by the Greenwich Village music scene, which for decades has been kind of the epicenter of our acoustic music world. Well, on a sad note, I want to play this next video for you. This gentleman has since passed away, and he was one of the inspiring performers of our folk music community. And I had the honor of introducing him that night. So let's go back to that videotape and remember Bill Staines. And again, thank you all for donating. We appreciate it. It's moments like this that you make possible. So thank you for that. Now let's go to that tape. Now, in the early 1960s, on a Sunday afternoon, you probably would have found him in Club 47 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where he served as the MC for a weekly hootenanny. And since then, he's really become a fixture on our folk circuit. He's graced the stages of coffee houses, concert halls, festivals, all across North America. And his songs, well, they're staples of the contemporary folk community. Songs that are also appearing in grade school music books, church hymnals, campfire songbooks, and other great collections of folk songs. And they've been recorded by so many artists, people like Peter, Paul and Mary, Tommy Makem and Liam Clancy, Nancy Griffith, and dozens of others. Tonight I have the honor to introduce to you the man that David Amram called a modern-day Stephen Foster. Please welcome Bill Staines.
We are crossing the water our whole way through. We're making a passage that is straight and true. Every heart is a vessel, every dream is a light shining through the darkness of the blackest night. We are crossing the water our whole way through. We are making a passage that is straight and true. Every heart is a vessel, every dream is a light shining through the darkness of the blackest night. keep us safely from the dangers and the devils of the deep. Yet with every breath within us, we search forevermore to find some peaceful harbor on that far-off shore. We are crossing the water our whole life through. We are making a passage that is straight and true. Every heart is a vessel, every dream is a light shining through the darkness of the blackest night. For some it is a glory, for some it is a game, for some it is a story filled with emptiness and pain. Yet with rising winds in chorus, we search for steady ground. There is only that before us, there can be no turning around. And we are crossing the water our whole life through. We are making a passage that is straight and true. Every heart is a vessel, every dream is a light shining through the darkness of the blackest night. For there is no other journey that will ever be the same. No second chance horizon that will call you by your name. When the welling waves wash over you, stormy winds they drive, give your heart a song, sing it loud and long, keep your dreams alive. We are crossing the water our whole life through. We are making a passage that is straight and true. Every heart is a vessel, every dream is a light shining through the darkness of the blackest night. Every heart is a vessel, every dream is a light shining through the darkness of the blackest night. Crossing the water. Well, let's try this. This is a brand spanking new song. So if you get this kind of a funny look on my face, help me out with the words to it. You know them as well as I do. I do these workshops, songwriting workshops around the country, and inevitably somebody will ask me, where does your inspiration come from to write a song? And for everybody, it's always different. Some people have these deep emotional things that leads to a song or something like that. And for some people, it's issues. And this song actually came about after a trip to the AT&T store and shopping for a body wash. So, and I turned that around into a cowboy ballad. So it's called Cedar and Sage. We'll see how that works out. Well, I am an old-time wrangler that travel all alone. Never been much for fiddling with all these gadgets and these phones. So just saddle up my horses and I'll be on my way. And tip my hat to the lady like we did in the olden days. Well, I've drunk from the Big Dipper, I've roped the heavenly boat, stood up proud and sung out loud when the rising moon was full. And when the clouds grew dark and dreary, the lightning split the sky, then I turned my pony to it, going down the trail we'd fly. For life is what you make of it, come the high times and the lows. Through the loss and gain, you just grip the reins, and you never let them go. Oh, you never let them go. Well, I've crossed the raging waters, I've run the river wild, danced with the lady West when she tempted me with smiles. I beat the king of diamonds lost to the three of hearts. Some old days it just goes that way when your luck just falls apart. But then life is what you make of it. Come the high times and the lows. Through the loss and gain you just grip the reins, and you never let them go. Oh, you never let them go. Well, I am an old-time wrangler. I ride beneath the sun. But there'll come a hand with a greater plan, and then the riding will be done. So just do me one more favor. When I've written my last page, just lay me down in some blessed ground, beneath the cedar and the sage. So just do me one more favor. When I've written my last page, lay me down in some blessed ground, beneath the cedar and the sage. The life is what you make of it. Come the high times and the lows. Through the loss and gain you just grip the reins, and you never let them go. Oh, you never let them go. The life is what you make of it. Come the high times and the lows. Through the loss and gain you just grip the reins, and you never let them go. Oh, you never let them go. Cedar and sage.
Yeah.
This is a song that, hard to believe this was written almost 50 years ago. It's followed me for that long. Almost 50 years ago. I was 4 years old. No. But it's followed me for a long time. Played it for a lot of people. So I'll leave you with this one here. I want to thank everybody, Rod and Sonny and everybody. It's one called River. It's like this. I was born in the path of the winter wind, raised where the mountains are rolled. Their springtime waters came dancing down. I remember the tales they told. The whistling waves of my younger days too quickly have faded on by. But all of their memories, they linger on, like the light in a fading sky. River, take me along in your sunshine, sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let you and the river run down to the sea. Well, I've been to the city and I've been back again, and I've been moved by some things that I have learned. Met a lot of good people and I've called them friends. Felt the change when the seasons turn. I've heard all the songs that the children sing, and I've listened to love's melody, and felt my own music within me rise, like the wind in the autumn trees. sunshine. Sing me a song ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let you and me river run down to the sea. Someday when the flowers are blooming still, someday when the grass is still green, my rolling waters will round the bend and flow into the open sea. Here's to the rainbow that's followed me here, and here's to the friends that I know, and here's to the song that's within me now. I will sing it wherever I go. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let you and me river run down to the sea. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me a song ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let you and me river run down to the sea.
Woo! Gorgeous! So beautiful.
Hey, Bill, can we get you to do one more?
Sure. Let's see.
You know, Bill, we used to sing that song every night on the Clearwater when I was a volunteer on the Clearwater.
Yeah.
Every single night. And everybody would sing along on that song.
Well, this is one that I've had a lot of requests for nowadays. I was singing this song recently, and a fella came up to me and he said, there's a young lady that's singing the song on YouTube, and she does a really nice version of it. You should check her out. Of course, I did. Her name is Sylvia Davidson, and she's from Seattle. I think she's living in Nashville now, but a really beautiful voice. I really like the way that she did this song. She changed the chord progressions just a little bit on it, and I really like what she did, so I ripped her off. Bridges. There are bridges, bridges in the sky. They are shining in the sun. They are stone and steel and wood and wire. They can change two things to one. They are languages and letters. They are poetry and all. They are love and understanding, and they're better than a wall. They are languages and letters. They are poetry and all. They are love and understanding, and they're better than a wall. There are canyons, they are yawning in the night. They are rank and bitter anger, they are all devoid of light. They are fear and blind suspicion, they are apathy and pride. They are dark and slow foreboding, and they're oh so very wide. They are fear and blind suspicion, they are apathy and pride. They are dark and so foreboding, and they're oh so very wide. Let us build a bridge of music, let us cross it with a song. Let us span another canyon, let us right another wrong. Oh, and if someone should ask us where we're up and bound today, we will tell them building bridges and be off and on our way. Oh, and if someone should ask us where we're up and bound today, we will tell them building bridges and be off and on our way. Oh, and if someone should ask us where we're up and bound today, we will tell them building bridges and be off and on our way.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Bill, are you headed out on the road anytime soon?
Summer's slow, but the fall is really busy. I missed my fall tour last year for the first time in 41 years. And so I'm going to pick it up right where I left off and head out to the West Coast and play my way across the country and back again.
West Coast of the U.S., you're driving back coast to coast?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've driven across the country 82 times.
I remember opening for you one time in South Carolina, and I kind of watched how you packed up, and I was very impressed how compact and how you had your like road setup really together. You just like got everything packed up and were out the door and back in your car, you know, a couple of minutes after you had finished selling CDs and signing them for everybody. It was like a lesson in how to tour.
Well, after 55 years of doing it, I just, you know, it's pretty easy for me now. So long as I can get the stamina back to do it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's great to hear you, Bill. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, everybody.
Bravo.
You probably don't remember this, but you and I were roommates at, I think it was Winnipeg years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember you sat down on the floor across from me one night late and said, "Hey, Rod, let's play a couple songs together." And I started out trying to watch your hands, and after about 10 minutes, I realized if I watched you, I couldn't play with you. I had to, like, just not look at your hands. But then it was okay, you know. Then I could follow what you're doing fine.
Well, it's interesting because everybody that plays upside down plays differently. You know, there's no right way of playing something wrong. So
I was amazed to find out that everybody who's historically played Freight Train, you know, ding, 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 all the people who learned that guitar part learned it from somebody other than Elizabeth Cotton. She played lefty and upside down and didn't play that part when she sang the song herself.
Freight Train was one of the first songs. You know, I have an Elizabeth Cotton story. I was doing a festival in Kentucky, and she was pretty frail at the time, you know, and so she was on. I was the last spot on the first half of the concert, and she was on two people before me, and I was at backstage, and she was sitting there playing Freight Train, and so there was a chair opposite her, and I sat down and I started playing it along with her, you know, and she stopped, and I thought, oh well, I've disturbed her, you know, it's just, oh boy, and she looked at me, she said, you're the first person I've seen play that right. That was a highlight of the festival for me.
Of course, of course. Well, Bill, thanks again so much.
Okay, the first one we're bringing up, and he's coming to us from Wales, all the way across the ocean, and he's an amazing folk singer, songwriter, and he's been at it for about 30 years. He has many, many CDs out, but the thing that I love best about this guy, his name is Martyn Joseph. He has started an organization called Let Yourself Trust. When the show's over, I want you to go to martynjoseph.net and check out his website. Let Yourself Trust is an amazing thing that he's created where they give money to individual people who are trying to do great things in different places. They've given money to places like Nepal, Haiti, Guatemala, Palestine, Canada, Uganda, you name it, all around the world. Every 6 months they choose a different recipient. For example, I know he tried to help one guy in Palestine start giving books out to children. He's just done so much. And not to mention the fact he's a great singer. Oh, and the other thing about Martyn, he put out a CD of Phil's songs, 14 songs, called Days of Decision, which is just amazing. So without further ado, Martyn, I love you. I don't care how wonderful you are.
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you very much. Greetings, everybody from Wales, where it's way past my bedtime, but I'm very happy to be here. In many a time, many a land, with many a gun in many a hand. They came by the night, they came by the day. They came with their guns to take us away. With that knock on the door, the knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Back in the days of the Roman Empire, they died by the cross and they died by the fire. In that stone Colosseum, the crowd gave a roar, and it all began with that knock on the door, that knock on the door, the knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Years have all passed, we've reached modern times. Nazis have come with their Nazi war crimes. Yes, the power was there, and the power was found. 6 million people heard the same sound. That old knock on the door, that knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, just one more. Now there's many new words, there's many new names. The banners have changed, but that knock sounds the same. On the Soviet shores, with right on their side, I wonder who knows how many have died with their knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, just one more. Look over the oceans, look over the lands, look over those leaders with that blood on their hands, and open your eyes. Go see what they do when they knock over your friend, they're knocking for you. That knock on the door, that knock on the door. Here they come to take one more. Yeah, that knock on the door, the knock on the door. Here they come to take one more. Just one more. And then just one more. One more, one more. Back in 1993, I was touring America with the Irish band Clannad, and I got to play in Boston. And the next day there was a very nice review of the show, and they even gave me a couple of lines. They said that I was a profound experience. And I was quite Phil Oakesish, and I thought, that's really lovely, but who the hell is Phil Oakes? So to my shame. So I went and bought some albums, vinyl in a day, and I listened, and I was blown away by Phil's repertoire and his rapport and his big heart for justice. And that was great, and I carried that with me for many years and just enjoyed his music. And then I guess it's about 8 years ago now, I'm checking into Folk Alliance, that annual gathering of us all, and there was this lady checking me in, a very young-looking lady with a badge on it that said Sonny Oakes. And I said, I don't suppose you're related to Phil in any way, almost sarcastically. And she said, yes, I'm his sister. And that was the beginning of a lovely friendship, and Sonny encouraged me to do a whole album of Phil's songs. So this is one I want to play. Well, I didn't have all the good ones. All the ones I wanted to sing were already taken, but even so, I'm very happy with the ones that I'm allowed to sing. And this was a song as I was recording that really choked me up. It was at the time when you had that lunatic for a president, And this was a song about a man that had incredible potential. And of course, his brother Bobby too was taken from you. And at the time when I was singing these words, it really did break me up. So I'm happy that things have changed somewhat. But this is that was the president. Oh, the bullets of the false revenge have struck us once again, as the angry seas have struck upon the sand. And it seems as though a friendless world has lost itself a friend. Well, that was the president, and that was the man. And I can still see him smiling there and waving at the crowd as he drove through the music of the band. And never even knowing that no more time would be allowed, not for that president and not for the man. Well, here's a memory to share, here's a memory to say of the sudden early ending of command. Yet a part of you and a part of me is buried in his grave. That was the president, and that was the man. And it's not only for the leader that the sorrow hits so hard, and there are greater things that I will never understand. How a man so filled with life that even death was caught off guard. Yeah, that was the president, and that was the man. And everything that he might have done, and all that he could have been, it was proven by the troubled trader's hand. For what other death could wound the hearts of so many men? That was the president, and that was the man. Yet the glory that was Lincoln's, it never died when he was slain. It's been carried over time and time again. And so to that list of honor you may add another name, for that was your president, and that was the man. Yeah, that was the president, and that was the man. Thank you. Well, I could possibly cheer you up with one of my songs, but that's not really going to happen, I'm afraid. I had a review in '92 where Melody Maker said I made Leonard Cohen sound like Julie Andrews. So I'm going to sing you one of my songs, and I will stick around for a while, but you'll have to forgive me as I will probably drift off to bed at some point in the next half hour or so. But I'm honoured to be part of this Greenwich Folk Festival, a tribute to Phil Oakes, and thank you for having a Welshman here amongst you, and I look forward to touring your beautiful, wonderful land, hopefully, and you can come over here in the not too distant future. So I'll leave you with this one. I need you brave, I want you brave, I need you strong to sing along, for you are beautiful and I'm not wrong. And even today this timeline is fine, enough for us to find a path ahead and let the whole thing roll on. But if you are drifting away, if everything's falling apart, just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of all you really love, and let your soul, the one that you've brought with you safe to this moment in time, let it whisper to all of your fear, and let it wrestle with the noise of the night for you. If we could just step outside and look at ourselves for a moment, we could see there's a different way that we can be. Don't expect to find all the answers of this world, 'cause if you could somehow and then you did, tell me, who the hell would you be? Are you drifting away and you're falling apart? Just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of what you really love, and let your soul, it's the one that you've brought with you safe to this moment in time, let it whisper to all of your fear, let it wrestle with the noise of the night for you. And in the midst of these moments, well, it's like we've never left, but there's a lifetime of returning, and we're not home yet. My friends, we are not home yet. I need you brave, I want you brave, I need you strong. When you sing along, it sounds so beautiful, and for once I am not wrong. And you can bring it on, we'll throw everything, 'cause in the end love wins big, and there are millions of us with no intention of lying down. But if you are drifting away and everything feels like it's falling apart, I know, you just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of everything that you love, and let your soul, it's the one that you've brought with you safe to this moment in time. Let it whisper to your fear and wrestle with the noise of the night. Let it whisper to all of your fear and wrestle with the noise of the night for you. Amen, Shanti, Shalom, and Shalom. You can shoot us, lynch us high, run us down, you don't get far. You could board up every window to all the light there could ever be, but you will never find the silence of love's majority. That's you and me. Thank you.
Thank you, Martyn Joseph. Oh, well, I hope some of our viewers will check out your website, martynjoseph.net. I understand you've got a new CD coming out in November, 1960 it's called. And I'm looking forward to being able to play that on the radio. So thanks so much for being with us tonight. And I know it's getting late out there, but that was just wonderful.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, also, I want to highly recommend Martyn's album, Days of Decision, a tribute to Phil Ochs, which is also available through his website as well. Martyn Joseph, an outstanding performance. And that, my friends, will bring a conclusion to this month's edition of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, a special edition where we looked at highlights from our previous festivals. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You can always go to YouTube. We have our archives there. If you missed any of the events, they're there for you to watch. And it's made possible because of the generosity of our viewers. Tonight's show featured performances from Tracy Grammer and Jim Henry, Guy Davis, Grace Pettis, Patty Larkin, Howard Levy, Natalia Zuckerman, Bill Staines, and Martyn Joseph. And we'll be back live next month on Sunday, October the 1st. I'll be co-emceeing with Sonny Ochs, and we'll be doing a special Phil Ochs Song Night. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the Phil Ochs Song Nights, a series that began by Sonny a few years after her brother's passing. She gathered together some amazing artists who sang Phil's songs and sang some of their own, showing that the music certainly is alive and well. And our October 1st edition scheduled performers will include Emma's Revolution, John Flynn, Greg Greenway, Reggie Harris, Rod MacDonald, Magpie, Pamela Means, Louise Moss-Ricombe, Zach Stevenson, and the group Winborn. So be sure to mark your calendars. Sunday, October 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our thanks to the wonderful folks who put tonight's show together, Jerry Kornbluth, Rod MacDonald, Ray Mysick, and, of course, all the wonderful people that have been involved in this festival from the beginning. Our tech staff, including Brandon O'Sullivan and Greg Greenway and so many others. I'm sure I'm going to miss some names. Go to the website, GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org, and you can find out all about this wonderful event. And also, while you're there, please make sure to make a donation if you can afford it. This is a free event, but it's donations from people just like you that keep us going. Right now at the bottom of the screen, we're showing a link to our website, GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org. You can go there. There's a PayPal button that you can click on to make a donation. Or if you'd like to send a check, let's throw that slide up. There's the information and an address where you can mail us a check. Anything that you can afford is greatly needed and greatly appreciated, and it will help keep this going every month. Well, I'm Ron Olesko. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget, October 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Greenwich Village Folk Festival returns with co-hosts Sonny Ochs and the Phil Ochs Song Night. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day weekend. Take care, everybody.